Here's a get ready with me video you probably haven't seen before. As you can see, it is show day here for me on the Emerald Princess. I have 2 performances tonight, and I am only about an hour and a bit away from my tech rehearsal to get everything set up. So I thought I'd show you a little bit about what happens, how it works, the behind the scenes, so to speak, of how I get ready to perform tonight. So, here we go. Now, the day before the show, I spend a lot of time prepping things in my show that I can do in my room, so that way I'm not taking up all the valuable time of the theater techs and everyone else running the venue while I'm setting up and prepping things that I could have done prior. But I pack it all up, I head out my door, and I head to the backstage part of the theater, which is just one deck down. And this is what the backstage looks like on the Emerald Princess. So back here you can see all of the props and the staging for the production shows that they store here when I am not performing or one of the other guest entertainers aren't performing. And this is what the theater looks like from my perspective on stage. It seats about 800 people, so it is pretty big, but as you can see, it also feels pretty small. And there's still a whole bunch of stage behind me that's cut off by the projection that you can't see when the projection screens down. So once I'm in the theater, I set up my laptop to do sound and projections, and of course, the next thing we do is a sound check. And you can see me running around the theater here checking my mic, because not only do I need to sound good on stage, but because I move throughout the crowd, I also need to make sure that everything sounds good in the audience as well. So I basically take a really long walk through the theater to not only check the mic, but also know where the steps are, know where I can and can't go, things like that. And I really get to know the full space of the theater that I'm in. Once that's done, we do lights, so we go through all of the lighting cues that the lighting designer has all set up and good to go. We make sure that it's set up for my show as well, and then from there, it's on to setting up the actual show. So putting out the props, putting out all the things that I've prepped the night before, and making sure that everything looks great and is ready to go for the show. And of course, once everything is set up, I head back to the room to change into my show clothes and head backstage to do a quick warm-up to get the blood flowing and some vocal warm-ups to make sure that I'm ready to perform. So we are backstage now, about 6 minutes from curtain, and you can see that we are packed here tonight. This is gonna be a blast. Once we get to showtime, Kevin, the cruise director, comes out, warms up the crowd a little bit, introduces me as tonight's act, and we kick off the show. I hop out from backstage and have an absolute blast with the people in the crowd performing my show, and then once that's done, we reset and we do it all over again for the second performance that night. Once the show is done, I pack up my stuff and the theater crew takes over the space, transforming it for a brand new show to happen the next day. And now, as you can see, I am all back in my stateroom after the shows are done. I have changed, all of my stuff is back in my trunk, and it is time to hit the hay, because I have to do this again day after tomorrow. Good night, everybody. See you on stage in a couple days.